ॐ वाङ् मे मनसि प्रतिष्ठिता मनो मे वाचि प्रतिष्ठितम् आविराविर्मयेधि वेदस्य म आणीस्थः श्रुतं मे मा प्रहासि अनेनाधीतेनाहोरात्रान् सन्दधामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारमवतु वक्तारम् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ. Om. May my speech be accorded with the mind. May my mind be accorded with the speech. O self-effulgent one Brahman, reveal thyself to me. May you both, speech and mind, be the carriers of the highest truth to me. May not all that I have heard depart from me. May I be able to join day and night through this study. I shall utter what is verbally true. I shall utter what is mentally true. May that Brahman protect me. May that Brahman protect the teacher. May that protect me. May that protect the teacher. Om, peace, peace. Peace be unto you all. Good morning. Today, this morning is a very special morning, and I, on behalf of Vedanta Society, Berkeley, convey my thanks, gratitude to Pravrajika Bhavaniprana and Pravrajika Prana for accepting our invitation to deliver two very important lectures on spiritual life. Pravrajika Bhavaniprana ji is a trustee of Sri Sarada Math, as well as member of the governing body of Ramakrishna Sarada Mission, Dakshineshwar, Kolkata, India. She is also the head of Sri Sarada Math and Ramakrishna Sarada Mission, Guntur, Andhra Pradesh, India. She is a disciple of revered Swami Bireshwaranandaji Maharaj, 10th President of the Ramakrishna Math and Mission. Bhavaniprana Mataji joined Sri Sarada Math in 1975. Before taking charges as the administrative head of Guntur branch in 2001, she had served in Kolkata, India for 22 years in various capacities. She had visited Canada and USA twice and gave talks on Vedanta and the harmonious message for the Holy Trio. This morning, she is going to speak on Sri Sarada Devi as spiritual ideal. Pravrajika Prana is the editor of the English Journal of Sarada Math, which is called Sambit, published from New Delhi. She has been principal for Nivedita Vidya Mandir School from 2014 to 2019. Is it our Nivedita school in Calcutta? No, this is in Delhi. She is a gold medalist in her academic career and has been lecturing since 2010, including different academic institutions like IITs and others. Pravrajika Bhavaniprana wrote a couple of books like Science of Happiness, Self-Discovery, etc. She is a disciple of Swami Ranganathanandaji Maharaj, our 13th president of the Ramakrishna Mott and Mission. She is going to speak another very important subject, the practical aspects of spiritual sadhana. Without much ado, I request Pravrajika Bhavaniprana ji to give his lecture. Thank you.
यथाग्नेर्दाहिका शक्ति रामकृष्णे स्थिता हिया सर्वविद्या स्वरूपां शारदां प्रणमाम्यहम्. I am extremely glad to be here, and I found Holy Mother herself welcoming us, sitting in the center of the shrine, which is a very rare thing I found except at Sarada Mott, nowhere else. And today I am expected to speak about the Holy Mother as the spiritual ideal. Now, many of you may ask why? How can Holy Mother, an old-styled and backdated lady, an almost unlettered person from a village, a remote village like Jerambati, how can she be an ideal for all of us? In this present age also, not only for women, even for men, we may have a question. And when we think the ideal of in the past incarnation, like Sita, Radha, Vishnupriya, they're all like some pages from history. And even this, the latest incarnation of Sri Ramakrishna, Holy Mother and Swamiji, we find if we want to take Sri Ramakrishna as our ideal, he is something beyond our reach, we feel. He is constantly immersed in spiritual conversations and in high moods or divine moods, and every now and then he goes to Samadhi, even without a moment's notice. We admire him, we worship him, we like him, but we can't feel we can follow him and imitate him in our day-to-day life. And even if you take Swami Vivekananda, he's also too high for all of us. We admire that brilliancy, that eloquency, that dazzling personality, his grasp of all shastras, his knowledge of East and West philosophies, such a personality. But can we follow him? He is beyond our reach. We can't reach that mark. We are afraid. Sometimes we feel. But when we think of Holy Mother, Sri Sarada Devi, she is like down to earth, ideal, just at the level of any one of us. We feel she comes down just like any ordinary person to us, just like an ordinary mother coming to her children. And in this present age, we can say, this is the age of Kali Yuga, we say. Sri Ramakrishna used to say, people are annagata prana, means our life is centered in food, and lifespan is so short. And how many are there who can do hard tapasya, austerities like Sri Ramakrishna, are like Swamiji, and the days of yore when people did austerities in mountains, caves, and forests, and river banks, and all those days have gone. Now, how can we practice spiritual life in our day-to-day life? That is the question. When we come to that point, we find Holy Mother is very, very near to us. She is living just like any one of us in the ordinary householder life, and she comes down to our level as if a mother is coming to the children so that she is very easy of reach. And we feel we are not afraid. We can easily approach her, and we don't find God means something very high, somewhere sitting in the sky, and like that. She is just like very close to us, very our own mother. So it is easy, and also she shows how practically we can handle the situations in life, the challenges of life, in our day-to-day life. And her life is an example of, we can say, practical Vedanta. When we observe her life, that's why she is the ideal for everyone, we can say. And even when Swami Vivekananda was living, we know his own brother disciple sometimes felt him difficult to understand. Once we hear Swami Sharadananda asked Swami Yogananda, well, Naren appears to be, he talks on different ideals at different times, and such a highly, this emphasis on different, this one, and it is difficult for us to understand, and we are confused. Then Yoganandaji says, Sharat, you simply hold on to Holy Mother. There is nothing to fear. Unhesitatingly, without any doubt, you can just catch hold of her and just obey whatever she says. That will do the thing. So even the trustees and the those who are at the helm of the Ramakrishna Matan mission, we find even in critical situations, they just took advice of Holy Mother, and that's how they could solve many problems in the managing of Sangha and all. So Holy Mother comes to all of us in an easy way of approach, that is the thing. And also we find, we can give just an example how Holy Mother's advices could be of use for everyday life. How we can follow, just let us see. When Swami Vivekananda was there, when he returned from abroad, actually when he introduced the path of action, Karma Yoga, Shivagnane Jiva Seva, worshipping the God in Jiva, in everyone, in the monastic life, many people didn't understand that. They thought Swamiji has brought all these things from the Western countries. Sri Ramakrishna never taught all these things, because the monastic ideal people had was not like that. It was against the traditional code of conduct for the sadhus. They thought the monks or nuns and all these people, they should always have only spiritual ideal. They can't have secular this one. But Swamiji has introduced work as part of the worship. So somebody even directly asked Holy Mother Sarada Devi, well, many people say it is not correct for people like these people who are sadhus and monks to engage in secular activities like keeping accounts and teaching in the schools, colleges, and working in the hospitals, and all sorts of this secular work. Is it correct? Then Holy Mother, she had a very clear idea. You see, she tells, you see, how many can practice spiritual sadhana 24 hours of a day? And what will they do the other time? And who is going to provide them food, shelter, and clothing and all essential necessities? Then they will have to go for begging, and that will be a wastage of energy and time. Thinking about all these things only, my Naren has started this Karma Yoga, this path of action in the life of everyone that is suitable for common people like us also. And this ashrama, this order will run in these lines only. Those who can adjust to this can stay here. Those who cannot accommodate have to leave. So she had a clear understanding why Swamiji introduced this Karma Yoga in our life. And Swamiji used to say, renunciation and service, these are the national ideals in our country, and strengthen India in those lines, and everything else will take care of itself. So we find in Sarada Devi's life also this Tyaga and Seva. These are the ideals she practiced. She lived like a householder, but she was showing that highest ideal of renunciation and service, practicing for that we can follow. Everyone has to follow, imitate her. It is easy for us. And Swamiji had dreamt of a race of super women who could combine both the Western spirit of freedom, that authoritative freedom, that braveness, and all those, along with the Eastern spirit of that self-effacing nature and this love for solitude and austerities and all that. And in Holy Mother's life, we find the combination of both. Also, as Swamiji said, a combination of both all the four yogas, like path of Gnan, Bhakti, Karma, and Raj Yoga. All the harmony of all the ideals we can see in Holy Mother Sri Sarada Devi's life. So it is easy for ordinary people to follow her. And with his prophetic vision, Swamiji had seen that Holy Mother is born to revive that wonderful Shakti again in our country, and he predicted that making her as nucleus, once more Gargis and Maitris will be born into our country. And what is that spiritual sadhana that she has shown in her life for all of us? If you ask, by seeing her, we understand that God is not a distant ideal. God is very near to us, near just like our own mother, and we can easily approach God. And about spiritual life, she says, what is spiritual sadhana? You practice japa, repeating the name of God, that is japa, and then think of God, keep remembrance of God, that is smaran, what we call, and then to pray sincerely, prarthana, and then after all, God is our very own. So these japa, prarthana, and remembrance, and thinking God as our own. We can take this as sadhana chatushtaya, this fourfold steps in practicing spiritual sadhana in our day-to-day life. And Holy Mother repeatedly stressed japat siddhi. Just by repeating the name of God itself, one can realize the highest ideal in our life. And remembrance of God, you read the spiritual books or hear the messages from great souls and try to dwell on that repeatedly. That is remembering the thought of God or keeping it in mind, and then pray sincerely to God, that is prarthana, and always feel God is our very own. By practicing any of the like dasya, vatsalya, sakya, there are various attitudes by which we can feel God is our very near and our very own. So in this way, in a very easy way, we can approach God. And we find in Sarada Devi, so a combination of all the ideas. So on one side, we can see the ideal of the Brahmavadini of the Vedic times. And that is like Gargi and Maitreyi, that highest spiritual Vedantic ideal. And again like Sahadharmini ideal, the wife, how a householder, a woman can conduct herself in her day-to-day life, even being in a family life. And also we find the monastic ideal, the highest renunciation also we find in her. So when we see all the combination of all these three ideas in her life, we can find. And to the householder, what does she teach? If we ask, we see in her life how one should be committed to duties, that duty consciousness, and taking responsibilities, never evading the responsibilities, and practicing work as worship, and adjusting to different situations, persons, and times. So these are the things any householder can practice in day-to-day life, as Holy Mother shows in her life. So work and worship should be simultaneously carried out and not as two separate compartments. And for a monastic person also, we find the highest renunciation and that detachment and desirelessness and egoless nature. These are the qualities any of us, the nuns also or the monks also, they have to follow. So we can say she has shown the ideal both for a householder and the monastic person, the best ideal. She herself said, I have done more than what is necessary in my life to make my ideal, my life as an ideal for everyone. And Sri Ramakrishna had left her in this world to represent the motherly love, the Matru Bhava to everyone, which is the purest and safest relation that we can have with God. Because the relation with our mother, it starts even before we are born into this world. That is the easiest way that one can approach God. And we are all like just children of Holy Mother, and she is ready to accept all of us in spite of our weaknesses and drawbacks, whatever we are there. We have no hesitation in approaching Holy Mother, and she herself has declared, I am the mother of the virtuous as well as the wicked. And when you are in distress, just know that you have a mother, and that is enough. And if anybody calls me mother and asks for anything, I can never refuse. So she has herself given word, she has assured that she is there behind us in all our difficulties, in all our problems. She is ready to support us. Sister Nivedita gives a beautiful quotation I would like to quote here. And that is the demonstration of the practical Vedanta that we find in Holy Mother's life. Nivedita said, if the many and the one be indeed the same reality, then it is not only all modes of worship alone, but equally all modes of work, all modes of struggle, all modes of creation, which are paths to realization. No distinction henceforth between the sacred and secular. To labor is to pray, to conquer is to renounce. Life itself is a religion. Very beautiful quotation, I feel, and how it is demonstrated in the day-to-day life of Holy Mother. When we think, what do we understand by if the many and the one are the same reality? When we say the one, we mean the Brahman, the non-dual reality. When we say the many, we mean the whole world, the universe of manifold, these names and forms. When this many and the one, Bahutva and Ekatva we say, when it can become one, only to a man of realization, a Brahmagnani, a realizer, one who has realized Brahman, one who has attained that Nirvikalpa Samadhi, only to such a person, one can break all the barriers and cut through all the differences and go behind and find the one truth behind everything. And we know Holy Mother had realized that ideal when she herself said, how do you know when a person is advancing in spirituality? Do you think he is going to grow two horns? No. You will realize the same truth which is in you is present in everyone around you also. So that is the idea that the Atman in me is present in everyone. There is only one truth behind everyone. So in this way, the mother could make the whole world her own. There is nobody a stranger to her. To such a person, all modes of worship, what are the different modes of worship? We can tell bhakti, gnan, karma or yoga. We can take it as Dvaita, Advaita, Visishta Dvaita, or Shaiva, Shakta, and Vaishnava, Sadhana. Or the different attitudes of practicing like Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, Madhura. All these different practices of spiritual practices, they all lead ultimately to one goal only. And then all modes of work, whether it is sacred or secular, whether you are worshipping in the temple or whether you are doing a scavenger's job, they all lead ultimately to the same goal. And all modes of struggle, that is, throughout our life, gradually we are evolving from a lower animal level to the highest level. So we are passing through various struggles. But all these struggles are ultimately leading to that one highest reality only. And then to such a person, the demarcation between sacred and secular vanishes. When the person is laboring, it is just like praying. Even if the person is conquering a nation, it is just like holding a trust. It is full of detachment. So in case of Holy Mother, we see that the kitchen itself became a temple to her. All the vessels there, they are the articles of worship. And daily, every action, the work became transformed into worship. There was no difference. So that is the highest ideal of practical Vedanta, which Holy Mother demonstrated. It is possible that one can achieve the highest spiritual realization being a householder and doing the day-to-day work like any one of us, and also one can reach that higher state that we see in Holy Mother's life. I am reminded of Swami Vireshwaranandaji's one saying. He wrote Holy Mother's reminiscences. He was the 10th president. And he says, when Holy Mother visited Chennai, Ramakrishna Mission, at that time, Swami Ramakrishna was in charge. And it seems many devotees who came, they asked Ramakrishna whether Holy Mother is going to give any spiritual discourse or not. Then he replied in the negative. No. Then many got disappointed and they went back. Saying this, Swami Vireshwaranandaji says, if only they had waited to sit a few moments at the feet of Holy Mother, then all the problems in their lives would have been solved. And all their doubts would have been solved. But the people, we are always craving for a show and we want something glamour and all. We don't understand very simple life, very simple spiritual practices that Holy Mother is teaching us. In Holy Mother's life, we don't see that glamour of physical beauty, that wealth like Sita, Radha, all those. We don't, or Durga, Lakshmi, she doesn't have 4 hands, 10 hands, so many weapons, and so many ornaments. Nothing is there. Very ordinary, just like a village lady. But our own mother, she comes. So there is no Aishwarya or glamour or grandeur. There is the sweetness of motherly love, Madhurya, we say. So by that she conquers all of us. So that most unassuming life, yet towering in spirituality, but she could liberate even the worst sinner. She can grant bhakti, mukti, anything to anybody. So how wonderful her life is. So naturally, we all accept that her life as the spiritual ideal. There is no doubt. We find when we ask many monks and the nuns who have joined in our ashram, the old senior persons, we find some of them, they joined attracted by Sri Ramakrishna's life. And there are some who are inspired by Swamiji. Also there are some by Holy Mother. It is said Sri Ramakrishna attracts and Swamiji pulls. But ultimately, we all land in the lap of our motherly love, that Holy Mother's lap only. And in the beginning of our spiritual life, when we have a lot of Purushakar energy, we think we can do many things and we do all spiritual practices and everything. But when we mature in life, our wings are tired and we surrender. We understand Mother is the best person. Just surrender to her and she is going to take care of us. Whatever we are, she is going to elevate us and transform us. Even our wicked qualities, she can transform into noble qualities and give liberation to all of us. So I pray to Holy Mother that may she bless all of us with devotion, strength, purity, and that love to make the whole world as her own. And I wish that her grace and blessings may be on all of us. Thank you.